Alright, well, I haven't made a video for quite a while, but I've been getting a lot of requests for something I do really well, and that's hot wings. Everybody loves hot wings, and I'm going to tell you what, if you do them right, they'll taste better than the restaurant, and you will just eat the heck out of them. So what we got here is we've got 2 pounds of chicken wings, and we've already cut these up. We've cut them at the joint so that you get the tip and the little drumstick here. Alright, now we've got some parchment paper because that's one of the keys to cooking these wings. Okay, we got cayenne pepper, we got some oil here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these wings in the bowl. Now always remember, when you're cooking with chicken or turkey or any kind of bird, you really want to keep everything clean because it can really infect your utensils and get somebody sick. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a little bit of oil on top of the wings. Enough to lubricate them real well and get the hot pepper to stick. Okay, so then you're going to take some cayenne pepper, it doesn't matter which brand, and we're going to put about a tablespoon. Yeah, now this is 2 pounds of wings, and about a tablespoon of cayenne pepper. It's going to make it pretty hot. But your wings have got to be hot, right? That's why they call them hot wings, huh? Alright, so then you're going to just take that and you're going to cover it completely. And let that sit for a couple minutes. Absorb all of that nice spicy flavor. In the meantime, we're going to wash up and get ready for the next step in this process. Alright, now that we got everything cleaned up a little bit, we've set our oven to preheat at 425 degrees. So that's going. Now the next step here, you need some kind of bag, okay? I just use these big old gallon-sized Ziploc bags for this. It's really nice, and you can clean these up and use them over again if you want, or throw them away. I mean, they're pretty cheap. But you can use any kind of container even a big Tupperware container with a lid on it would really work nicely to do this. But what you want to do is you want to take, to coat these wings, you want to take about 1/3 of a cup, of flour, or a handful. That should be close enough. Maybe a little bit more. Flour, put that in your bag. Then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're just going to guess at this. And about a 1/2 teaspoon of already ground black pepper. I mean, freshly ground would be good, but it takes a long time to crack that. Okay. You're going to shake that up, get that really good mixed up. And then you're going to put your wings in there. And you're going to shake them. Okay? So you just take the bag, well, you won't do that way. Just put them in here. I'm telling you, these wings are really something else. Once you figure out how easy it is to do this, you won't want to go buy them anywhere else. These are just wonderful. So I'm going to give my hands a quick rinse here to get this off of there. Now that you zip this up, you just shake the heck out of it. Coat them all evenly with the flour mix. Alright, now they're all pretty evenly coated there. Now, going to get that out of the way. We're going to take parchment paper. Now this is one of the keys to this. You take your cookie baking tray here, and you want to put some parchment paper on there. Now the parchment paper does a couple of things. It's absolutely non-stick, and it's going to keep the things also from sitting in a bunch of oil. This paper will soak up the oil as well. So You want to put that in your pan. And then you're going to put the wings on there. And you want to leave a little bit of space between them. And we'll just do that. We'll be back with you in a second. Alright, now, as you can see, we've got all the wings laid out nicely here on the bacon tray. And we've got the parchment paper there. We've got the oven heated up to 425. Now, you're going to set your timer for 15 minutes. And we're going to do this 3 times, so it's going to take 45 minutes to do these. But you're going to go for 15 minutes. Okay, now we're going to put these in the oven. And we're going to come back and check them in 15 minutes, and we're going to turn them. So we're going to start the timer now, and we'll be back in 15 minutes. Okay, now, something that's very, very important for hot wings is the hot sauce, or the buffalo sauce, or whatever you want to call it. Now, my recipe, the recipe that I found that I love more than any other recipe I've ever found, is made from the following ingredients. Now, it's absolutely imperative for really authentic wings that you gotta have Frank's Red Hot, the original. So we want to take a third of a cup of Frank's Red Hot, and we're going to add that to our pot here. So, want to hold for 2 pounds of wings, you want a third of a cup of Frank's Red Hot. All right. Now, you want about 1/6 of a cup of ketchup, okay? We're adding multiple layers of flavor here. Now, I've had wings that all they did was just take Frank's Red Hot and put it on the wings. Well, that's not really what you got to do. So take about half of that much ketchup. This adds a nice tomatoey flavor to it. Okay, you want to add that in there. Now, here's one of the keys. This is one of the big keys. You want some sort of barbecue sauce that is made with brown sugar, and that's really important. Some people just add brown sugar, but if you take a barbecue sauce that already has brown sugar in it, it's going to add some smoky flavor and the barbecue flavor, and it's really, really going to turn out well. So you want about 1/6 of a cup of that. Okay, you add that. And then, believe it or not, some lemon juice for the zing. So it's about 1/6 of a cup of that. Now, we'll get every little bit of that out we can get. Now, one of the things that all wing recipes use is some sort of butter. You want to add a tablespoon, a big fat tablespoon of butter to that. Okay. Now you want to put that on the stove, and you want to just bring that up to a simmer and let it simmer for a few minutes. And when that melts down, you just start stirring the heck out of that thing, and then you'll be ready when your wings are actually completed. And that'll be the dipping sauce. You can either dip them or you can actually pour it on the wings. I prefer to pour it on the wings, and it is absolutely wonderful. All right, now our 15 minutes is up. Now it's time to take the wings out and turn them over. Now, if you see here, they're starting to get a little bit crispy. And they got a nice little coating on them. So, I'm going to turn all these over. Alright. So, these things are going to crisp up on all sides the longer you cook them. And you see here, the paper is soaking the oil. It looks like it's turning brown and it's burning on the edges, but it's not going to catch on fire or anything. So you want to do this and just turn them all and then pop them back in for 15 more minutes. Okay, so we got them all turned over. Now if you'll notice here, a lot of people cut the tips of the wings off. Now my wife really loves those tips, so I go ahead and cook them in there with it. Alright, so we're going to put these in the oven on the other side for 15 more minutes. Then we're going to set our timer. And there we go. We'll be back in 15 more minutes. Alright, so there's the timer again. Take these out and turn them once again. Oh yeah, they're starting to crisp up nicely now. Turn them again. We'll be back in a second or two when we got these all turned and get ready to put them back in again. Alright, we've got these all turned now and we're ready to go back in the oven for 15 more minutes, and this is the final baking time. So it's 45 minutes total. And I want to express something to you. This is really important. You can use a non-stick pan if you want or something, but they're going to be sitting in a lot of grease. This soaks up the grease, and these are really non-stick when you do it this way. A lot of times you'll have to use the tongs and jab under there if you put it on a regular pan or even a broiler pan. Broiler pan's good to get the grease away, but this actually soaks it up and takes most of the grease away where you don't even have to worry with it, and it's still non-stick. So, alright, we're going back in the oven for the last time here, and we'll be back in 15 minutes to add the sauce and let you see how they look. So we set the timer back for 15 more minutes. And we'll be back. Alright, well, now the wings should be completely done and ready to add the sauce to. So we're going to take these bad boys out, take a look at them. Oh yeah, nice and crispy, and look at that. Crispy and non-stick. So, you can see how good that looks, still sizzling in the pan. Anyway, now you take a big bowl and put those in there. And as you can see, since they've crisped up a little bit, they have a little crust on there. And that's what your wing sauce is going to go into whenever you pour it over them. It soaks that up, and that's what makes a real true hot wing. Alright, now we'll let that sit just a second or two to cool down. Not long, but what we'll do in the meantime is we will stir our sauce here. We simmered that for just a couple of minutes, and as you can see here, it's nice and glossy, which makes a good glaze. And it has the essence of the spice and all the other different layered flavors that make these wings unique. And these are as good as any restaurant wing you will ever find anywhere. So now you just pour this sauce over your wings. You want to get all the goodness out of the bottom of that pot. because this is really good sauce, especially if you like spicy hot wings. Now, got a couple of choices here. If your bowl's big enough, you can just kind of slosh them around here and toss them, and that'll cover them really well. Or if you're not as adept at doing that, you can just stir them up. Nothing wrong with that. They're nice and crispy. The skin shouldn't come off, and you just want to get every single one of them coated well. There you go. Now, that is a nice wing. And if you're like I am, you really like those things nice and fresh. Now it's time to put those bad boys on the plate. And I can eat this whole 2 pounds just myself. This is such a wonderful snack, or even as a meal. And you could make extra sauce, or like I said, you could make it and not put the sauce on them at all and dip them. If some people don't like spicy things, you could do it that way. But that right there is a nice, nice hot wing. While we're at it, let's just pour the rest of that sauce over it, because you can't have enough of that. So, there you go. That is Gino's restaurant quality hot wing recipe. And if you're like I am, you will probably enjoy that recipe as much as I do. You can have it for all kinds of occasions. Now, it takes 45 minutes to make those, but it's well worth it. And they're fairly cheap if you do it yourself. It's a far cry from having to pay the expensive price you pay at restaurants to have hot wings. And these are by far better than any wing you're going to get anywhere. So, until next time, hope you enjoy the wings.